distance. The focus and the directrix are the same distance from every single point on the parabola. Okay?
It's a cube.
Square inside of it.
What have I done? I don't know.
Give me a second. Let me.
How'd you phrase that again? It's the same as what?
It's the focus and the directrix are the same distance from every single point on the parabola. So and they're the same distance from the vertex. So if the focus is up 3 from the vertex, then the directrix is down 3 from the vertex. The directrix is a line, okay? The focus is a point. So if let's say your vertex was at 0, 0, okay? And your focus was at 3, where would the directrix be?
-3.
-3, yeah. So that means the directrix would be at -3. So they're the same distance. So the focus directrix are always the same distance from the vertex, wherever you're at. Okay.
Can I raise this? He, not him, because I'll never be him. What? My pronouns are he, not him, because I'll never be him.
That's pretty good.
Who said that?
I don't know.
Your mom said it.
Probably Topher.
Probably that's probably Toby.
He wrote that fancy handwriting.
Hey,
No.
no.
Oh, I have to write. I want to ask something too. And you got some rice cake on your pants?
It's a little embarrassing.
No, it's not.
It's not embarrassing to have rice cake on your pants.
No, it's not. No, I was gonna. Is it off? Turn on. I think so.
Leg.
Oh.
Like right here.
Put out. Now turn it on.
It's fine.
Here then. Okay. Oh, is that in there?
Okay. First, we're gonna start small. We're gonna start with these kinds of equations when the vertex is just at 0, 0, because it makes it easier, okay? Okay, so we are adding another form. We are learning this chapter all about all the different forms of quadratic equations. So before I write this one, we have vertex form, and you can, y and f of x are interchangeable, so I'll do it this time with y. We have standard form. These are all quadratics. We have intercept form. So we're going to add another form, and this is the form that you can use to figure out focus and directrix. It doesn't have a name, so we just call it focus form. Okay, so this would be if you have a parabola facing up or down, right? This first equation would be y equals 1 over 4p x squared. This is very similar to vertex form, but when the origin is at 0, there's no h and k. We're going to add h and k into it later when it's moved, but since these have the vertex at 0, 0, there's no h and k. This basically represents the same thing as a. Okay, so see in these we have a. In this equation, it just breaks a down into this 1 over 4p. Be careful because this is not 1/4 p. It's not that. It's 1 over 4p. P is underneath of the fraction bar. And the focus is always 0.
I'm like, oh, we're getting up early.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Wait, is that 0p?
Huh?
Is that 0p?
Yes. So, and the focus,
Math
P
is
is always the distance
This is
from-
confusing.
this one is one of the hardest of lessons of this way.
Oh, that's good to
Oh,
know.
yeah.
She
So
says, I'm
why-
gonna help us
why-
stuff.
why-
What are we doing Monday? Me and Bella won't be here.
Dave,
More of this.
Dave,
Okay.
What?
battle.
Yeah, can we make sure to video
Yeah.
Monday?
If my backpack just dies, yeah.
Do we have homework that day?
Probably. No, she'll sign it tomorrow.
Me and oh yeah, I forgot we're gonna be.
I'm gonna assign homework Monday, cause tomorrow's a quiz.
Okay.
To the focus. So P is always gonna be the distance from the vertex to the focus. So again, with my little picture of the, where it was 3. So if the focus is at 0, 3, and the vertex is here, that means the value of P is going to be 3. Because this is 3 units up from the vertex. If the focus was facing down, so we'll say here P
Negative.
equals 3. Yeah. If the vertex was facing down, so the focus is
Does it
always,
equal the y-intercept.
Huh?
Whatever the y-intercept is.
So the focus is always
That's what
inside
P
of.
equals.
as long as it hasn't moved, as long as the vertex is at 0, 0.
But the focus is never always 3.
No, this is,
number.
yeah, this is, let's say this one's at -2. Let's say this focus is at 0, -2, and it's facing down. The focus is always on the inside of the parabola. So
Okay.
if it's facing up, it's up here. If it's facing down, it'd be down here. So the distance from here to the focus is, if it's facing down, it's -2. So P would be -2 in that case.
Cool.
So it starts from the origin, and then how many units
Yeah.
it moves?
It
in
starts
your
from the
parabola.
vertex. It starts from the vertex of the parabola. Right now, our vertex is at the origin for these ones we're looking at.
Okay.
Later, we're gonna move it
Wait,
around.
so
but-
is this equation to help find the directrix?
Oh,
Why-
yes.
Why does that?
So
equation-
the directrix is always the opposite of the focus. So directrix would be, it's a horizontal line. So it's y equals -p. So whatever p is, so if p is 3, then the directrix would be -3. So y
But if-
equals
So
-3.
if P was -3, it'd be 3.
Wait, so what? So what is that equation?
Which one, this?
Yeah.
That's the equation of this
Wait, Bella, what did you just ask her?
parabola.
Of which?
If P was -3, the direction should be
Just
3.
the one that you.
Because it's the opposite of it.
Okay.
There's multiplying
Can you
by
use-
is that the parent
always
function?
the opposite.
Yeah, yeah.
It could be
So it's a dilation by
-24.
1
The direction should be 24.
yes, 1/12.
Well, it depends on what p is. Oh yeah, if we use 3, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Wait,
But I just realized,
which,
Brown,
which graph is from?
people are saying you through the camera, and they probably think you're the weirdest dresser. Because they probably don't know it's fair.
I'm
Is
kind of
it-
confused
is
about
it
what
the
I'm
graph-
supporting here.
Is it the graph on the left or the right?
Of what? What is? Is what?
The what we did.
This?
Yes.
This is for every single
It's like the
parabola.
parent function.
Dang
I
And then you plug in different things for p depending on where the focus is.
Okay, I thought you were saying that graph had something to do with this
It's
over
always the
here.
opposite of what?
What?
Directing.
The directrix is always the opposite of the focus. So like if the focus is up here, the directrix will be the same distance below the vertex.
Like it's like when you think about it, it doesn't sound that hard, but I just feel like once you do it, it's gonna be like, oh.
So we're always given
Sometimes you have to figure out what p is. If you're given the equation and it's like, tell me what's p.
Ew. But you give us the directrix?
Yeah,
Or that, sometimes that, yeah.
that's what I'm saying is you can't just figure out P from the.
Well, here, let's do one.
You ate like a pig. Chemistry, bro.
That's not
Don't
what
ever.
If I gave you this
You
equation,
should have seen.
I think you waffles.
Oh, yeah.
Did she let you eat? It was before school.
She was.
I was trying
Okay.
to breathe.
She was already.
if this is our like formula, whatever, and this is the equation I give you, what is p?
P is always the distance from the vertex.
Well, look at this. How does this?
P is 0?
Zero?
Wait, no, wait.
Is it 1?
Why is there a
Yeah,
negative
it's
sign? It's -4.
Is it
Why is there a
negative
negative
1?
sign?
-1?
What?
Negative
What?
one.
Because there's a negative.
So look, everything's the same. You could set the whole thing equal to each other. Or you could just say, okay, so 4p has to equal -4, right? So you could set up your little equation, because everything else is the same. The 1 is the same, the x squared is the same. The only thing different is the bottom here. So 4p is equal to negative 4, so you just solve your little equation, so p must equal negative 1.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So we're always basically given P, you just.
There's lots of different scenarios. Sometimes it's like, here's the equation, tell me what is p. Other times it's, here's a graph, what's p, write the equation.
This is not question P.
Alright, so if p is negative 1, and this, because there's no h or k, the vertex is where?
0, -1.
No. 0, 0. So if p is at negative 1, ooh, which way is my parabola facing? Down, and because it's negative, right? So where is my directrix?
It's positive 1.
Positive 1, right? So
Hey.
right there.
That's pretty good.
This one, these problems are much easier to solve if you draw yourself pictures. Even if it doesn't ask for a graph, if it doesn't ask for something like that, they're more helpful if you sketch out the picture. And then you can be like, oh, it's facing this way, I get the directrix needs to be up here, positive. Rather than trying to force it with like, I think some of these equations, like the directrix is y equals negative p. I think that's sometimes more difficult than just drawing yourself a picture and figuring out where everything goes. But you do you. Okay, how much time? Oh, good. I'm gonna do one more. So in this, can I erase this side? In this category, we have two different kinds. This is the only time we're gonna be working with sideways parabolas, because technically they're not considered a function, because they don't pass the function test, but we are gonna be looking at ones that go sideways.
Oh.
Why do they do that?
I don't know.
I don't know.
She doesn't.
Well, if you change the equation, does anyone know how we have to change this to make it do this instead?
-1. Is it like
4P over
Wait, is that
Is it like
saying?
a reflection?
Oh yeah, you're saying
Is
it's
it the
reflecting
opposite?
with a line.
Oh, that's right. We have shorter
Too
classes.
bad.
Yeah.
Cassidy was right. It's x equals 1 over 4p y squared. So we'll pick up there next time.
Cassidy!
Just why is there two of them?
Good job, guys.
I was like, okay, I need to focus.
Told you we had a